All right. First, I might as well get this out of the way so that some of you may have heard, but I don't think Becky was here yet. The class on Saturday, I just want some kind of feedback device set up so if I bend my arm, I feel resistance. So that's just a pull noodle and a couple of sweatbands. We're going to be doing speed drills, and I want you to feel that you're trying to bend your arm as we do these. And that's just going to be part of the class, so it would be nice if it could slip on and off.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I said it wrong. Wednesday. There's our little forearm guards, but if you can come up with something in the next 4.5 days, if you're going to attend that class, it would help you so you can really start feeling that you're trying, if you are trying to bend your arm, or if you've already overcome it, then you don't feel that little motion, that touch there. All right, we're going to start with the ball drill. I'm going to review just a little bit because there's two people that weren't here for the last class. And what we're going to do initially is just going to be all right-handed or all left-handed. So what I mean by that is I'm going to be focusing on my right hand swimming around the ball. My left hand is just going to be kind of here putting pressure, and I'm kind of arching my fingers to put some pressure on that. So the first thing I'm doing is right hand, I'm just pushing with my palm, going to the back of my hand, pushing with the palm, going with the back of the hand, and I'm just staying on my hand. So the left hand is moving, but you see it's just staying palm against the ball. So only my right hand is switching palm, back of hand, palm, back of hand, palm, back of hand. And do that till you get a little bit of comfort with it. And for the cheap seats, Chad and Becky that weren't here last time, this is teaching me to turtle, land turtle, sea turtle, land turtle, sea turtle, to stick with my opponent and be able to hold on to him as I'm doing stuff. So there's my sea turtle, there's my land turtle, sea turtle, land turtle, sea turtle, land turtle. Okay? So once you've got that a little bit, then you start moving up to your wrist. And so I'm rolling to the thumb side, and then I'm on the back, and then I'm on the pinky side is on contact, and then I'm on the inside. And so I'm rolling around, and my arm is just continuing clockwise. That's all my hand has really done right now is my hand went clockwise. Now my arm circles are getting a little bit bigger because I'm at the wrist. And then start sliding down your forearm. So now my arms are getting bigger and bigger until I'm right at that crease. I may go to the point where I touch the bicep, and then you start slowly walking it back the other direction. So you think if I'm just doing my hand, small covers, and they gradually get bigger. Now I'm covering my body. Now I'm covering my face and my groin. Then I'm just covering my torso. And then I'm back just capturing. That's what we're doing here. All right. Just let you warm up with that for a little bit. And then inevitably, you want to switch it and start doing, everybody in here I think is right-handed. Actually, I don't know about Chad, but everybody else I think is right-handed. So now I'm doing the same. I'm arching my right hand. It doesn't switch. And I'm just doing my left hand. And then eventually I get a little bit bigger and go to the wrist. And gradually creep down that forearm till I get all the way to the elbow. And then I creep back. And so, right hand, I was doing all clockwise. Left hand, I was doing all counterclockwise. So, I should be able to take my right hand now, and instead of going forward clockwise, I should be able to roll it counterclockwise. Feels a little different. But I should be able to go clockwise and counterclockwise with an arm. So now I'm on the right arm, I'm going counterclockwise. So I'm going up my right shoulder across, that kind of motion. Kind of face the camera a little bit here. And then move it down to the wrist. Forearms. All the way down to the elbow crease. And then walk it back. And now I'm just switching stances and trying to get facing the camera. So before, when we did the left, we rolled forward, which this one was clockwise. So let's see, yeah, that was clockwise first. So this is counterclockwise. So now we want to go back towards this. And so you start with the hand, roll to the wrist, walk down, forearm, and now they're big, giant circles. Covering face, covering groin, face, groin, back, walk it up the forearm, just covering the torso, wrist, and then hands. Just doing little captures and little hooks. All right, so that's your basic kind of warm up with the ball sticky hand drills. Now, obviously, we can mix that all in, and we can change it from just one hand to think about doubles, right? So I'm on my forearm, I'm on the back of the hand, I'm on the forearm. So I'm having to kind of slide between the hand, wrist, and forearms as I do my doubles, and everything's going the same direction. So my right hand just continues to go clockwise. My left hand is going counterclockwise. That's all kind of perspective, right? If I'm turned off at a 45 or 90 to the camera, you can see it's going that direction. If I'm turned this way, my right hand's going clockwise. So it's all a matter of perspective. If I just stand here and go like this, that's not what I'm doing, but is what I'm doing, I guess is what I'm saying. It's all a matter of which angle your body is facing. All right? So, and for Becky and Chad, who weren't here last time, we also, so this is equivalent to a single, and then when you put both hands in there, it's equivalent to a double. But you can also roll up like you're doing a double and then lift both arms and rotate palm forward, and there's your head. So I can go left single, right on top double, left on top head, single, double, head, and just keep on doing those kind of drills to get used to staying with your opponent. All right. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to turn my speaker down just a little bit. I'm getting just a little bit of a loop. Testing. Yeah, now it's gone. All right. So now what I want you to do is just think about your right hand. Just think about your right hand, and we're going to go with the ball. Our right hand is going to go just clockwise around that ball. And so we're going to do single, and then come all the way around and do another single, but that time we'll have our arm down. And then we're going to come around and do head. All right, so it's full clockwise revolutions with just your right hand. Don't worry about your left; it'll figure itself out. With if you mess up with the left, you're going to drop the ball. So I'm going to turn it sideways so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to do a single, double. And so my left hand is down. When I did the single, my left hand was just pressing the ball. Now as I do my double, I've got both forearms on the ball. And then I'm going to go full revolution around and up. And that's very much like Kusan-ku. Your top hand can be open, closed, it doesn't matter. So we're doing single, double, head, but right hand is on top, all three. So, and we'll tie into doing this without the ball in the second part of today's session. But single, double, head, up. So your right hand looks the same for all three motions, except for the third. Once you're here, you raise. So it's single, double, head is what we're doing with the right hand. All right. So I'm going to just face this direction and do it so that my right hand's in the front, and then I'll do it a couple of times, and then I'll face this direction so you can see what my left hand is doing. So got the ball. We're going to do our single. So my left hand's just palming it, right hand's right here. I'm just going to let it keep going that clockwise, and my left changes so that I'm on forearms. And then I'm going to go clockwise here and up. And it doesn't matter which way the left hand goes. So again, single, double, both on the forearms, head. Single, double, head. Single, double, head. Single, double, both on the forearms, rolling up, head. Now I'm just going to turn. You don't have to turn, but I just want you so you can see my left hand a little bit better. All right, so I'm single, just pressing on the ball. Double, it rolls to the forearms. And around again, head. And then just keeps on going. Single, double, head. 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 All right, so what is happening is my right hand from this perspective is just doing this. And then on the head, once it lands, it shoots up like it's trying to hit bad guy on the neck. So single, double, head, I rock through. but it comes to that exact same spot, single, double, head. If I have the ball here, it's single, double, head. And then, yeah. All right. So from various angles, this is kind of halfway between what we call windmill and bicycle, where I'm bicycling forward. It's all dependent upon my footwork, which way my body is facing. All right. So I'm gonna do it once, a few more times, one more cycle with you guys, facing left, facing right. We just lost somebody. And then, oh, she's back. I'm going to do it facing left, facing right, one more cycle, and then I'm going to come up and kind of look at you, spy on you for just a second. I'm getting a text, so let me make sure that's not somebody having difficulties. That's Marvin. Let you guys just do it on your own, and I'll shoot Marvin this link since he's forgot.
Yeah, I have a
Switch back to
question.
voyeur mode. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I was just wondering, when you're doing the ball, you're doing single, double head. When you get up to the head part, do you like reset and do single, or do you just come down from there and go into a single? You know what I mean? Like if you're already in that position, do you just come
Going
down?
from the head to the single.
Yeah.
All right. So from the head to the single, I'll do it from left, right, and front. So when I'm here, I'm basically kind of in that kusan-ku. We've got this in 3 motions. All I do is I'm going to push my right hand over the top of the ball and go there. So if I'm head, I just push it over. Now it's on the back of the hand, and I'm back here. Head, back of the hand, here. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. So it looks like everybody's getting the hang of that. Now what I want to do is we're just going to stick with this right side only. So I'm only concentrating on single, double, head. My right hand is always on top with those. I'm not going single, right hand's on top, double, left is on top, right. I'm not alternating. It's just like we've been doing, single all the way around, double 360 degrees, all the way around 360 degrees head, 360 degrees single, right? So that's what we're going to do. But what I want you to do is now I want you to start putting some footwork with this. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is turn 90 degrees from front, turn right 180 degrees from where you were. Now I'm going to go to the 45 left, 45 right, front, and then 180. And then we'll stop and reset. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to go single, double, head, and then I'm going to turn 180 and do single, double, head. I'll get Marvin in a second. Single, double, head, single, double, head, single, double, head, and then single, double, head, like that. So that's our game plan for this first little walkthrough. So we're doing the exact same thing, but I'm just making you change your feet. So you're going to change your feet to the direction that we are going. All right. But your hands don't change at all. So you're still only doing clockwise windmills, but we turn to our left, single, double, head. We turn 180, single, double, head. Now in relation to the front of the room, we go left 45, single, double, head. Now we go right 45, single, double, head. Now front, single, double, head, and back, single, double, head. All right. Thumbs up or X. Any thumbs up? Understand? Making sense? Any chigaos? Everybody's good. Okay. So we're turning one direction for now, and we're doing 3 windmills. All right. So the kind of the philosophy to that is we're doing single, double, head, and everything is rolling clockwise. But I may, in doing that, I may turn to the left with my single and then turn to my right 180 degrees. Now I may go off at that 45 to hit the neck. Now I may go at the other 45 to come back to the arm, and then I may go straight on to attack the head again in whatever technique I'm doing. So you can see how I'm working this half of my compass. The front half of my compass is what I'm working. And that's equivalent to changing my angles with my bottom body, but the top of my body just keeps on rolling. There's no hesitation, no stop. I just keep on going clockwise. All right, so I'm going to call it out. And we're going to do this 2 times with me leading it. And then I'm going to watch you and see if you're getting that. And then we're going to change it up a little bit. All right, so just starting with the ball here, I'm going to turn to the left and go single, double. Make sure the backhand is straight. Roll up to head. Keep rolling clockwise. Turn 180 degrees. Single, double, head. Now I'm going to go 45 left from the front, and I'm still going clockwise with my hands. Single, double, head. Now I'm going to go to the right front. Single, double, head. Now I'm going straight front. Single, double, head. Now I'm going to turn 180. Single, double, head. Now I'm just going to reset. face the front, grab the ball. Here we go, we're going to our left. Right single, right double, right head. 180 degrees, right single, right double, right head. Northwest, front left corner, left foot's forward, single, double, head. Northeast, right front 45, right foot's forward, single, double, head. Now left foot forward to the front, right single, right double, right head. Turn 180 degrees, right hand single, right hand double, right hand head. Okay. All right, so what is going on here, those that have been in the other classes, we're turning and we're going all these different directions, but we're only doing the windmill. Now you got to think, and I didn't mention it this time, but I've mentioned it in the last 2 or 3 classes. All right, because we're doing clockwise only on our windmills, that means when I turn to my left, my right hand is up, it's cross body. So my right hand is short. So when I turn and do my single, double head, I have got to be an hourglass to get my arm long. If I'm just in a back stance or a cat stance, see, my arm is short. I've got to get it long. So now I go to the right side, right shoulder's in front. So a back stance works. For the single, we do a double. I got to do hourglass to get that bottom hand to touch. And then I go back to head. Back stance works, or hourglass. But that's how you aim. Now when I go to my left front, northwest, it's back arm again. So I've got to be hourglass. Now it's right, right. So on the double, it's definitely got to be hourglass. The others could be back stance. Now when I go here to the front, I'm crossbody, so I've got to be hourglass on all of those. So you gotta pay attention in this drill to where your right shoulder is and what you're trying to do. If I'm here, if I'm right shoulder forward, I can hit him with my right all day long. If I am right shoulder back, I can't reach him until I get in the hourglass. All right. Hopefully by the end of this pandemic, you guys will be so versed at being able to lengthen your arm and legs, I guess. Lengthen your body when needed. All right, so I'm gonna do this one more time with you, and then I'm gonna watch a little bit, and then we're gonna move on and do it a little bit different. All right, so we got the ball in our hands. We're gonna turn 90 degrees left. Single right on top. Double, oh crap, we gotta get in an hourglass. Roll, head. 180 degrees. Right foot, right leg is forward, so back stance is fine with a single. Double, bottom hand doesn't reach, so it's got to be an hourglass. Roll, back stance is fine. Okay, now we're going to go northwest, front left corner. We're cross body, so on a single, it's got to be an hourglass. Double, the bottom hand would have been fine, but the top hand needs an hourglass, and the head needs the hourglass. Okay, northeast, front right corner, back stance works perfectly fine. Oh, we're in the double, the bottom hand can't reach, so we got to do hourglass, and back stance or hourglass works on the head because the right is forward. Now we're going to go straight ahead. We're cross body, right hand's on top, left foot is forward. So I can't reach without the hourglass. Now double, now head. Now we come 180. We're right, so back stance works for the single. Double, we need to drop into an hourglass. Head. All right. How are we all doing with that? Good?
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Go with your question.
Because we always have to switch over to the hourglass, why don't we just always just go in the hourglass and stay there?
Okay, so let me answer that. All right. So this exercise is, like most of the Taika's exercises, you're learning to aim. It's not reality. What you learn at the gun range helps you in a real life shooting or whatever, but it's not reality. So there are times where here I am in a back stance with left foot forward, left hand forward. That's where maybe that puts me perfect aim. Everything's aligned and that puts me perfect aim on his neck. If I turn into that hourglass, then I'll do it straight ahead so you can see. So from here, if the neck is right there where I want to hit, and then I turn hourglass, maybe I miss, right? So this is target practice. It's equivalent to you're learning to, at the gun range, you shoot a non-moving target initially to learn, or darts or whatever. Later on, you maybe buy some targets that move, and you're standing still trying to hit the targets as they move. Well, this is the flip of that. I'm trying to learn to hit a target that's not moving for our second level. I'm trying to hit this target while I'm moving. So you're learning to be able, I can hit this here, or I can hit this here, right? I can hit this dot, or I can hit this dot. So there are times where the back stance is where you want to aim. There's times the hourglass is where you want to aim. And the way we're doing this drill kind of helps you start understanding that, particularly when you get a bunch of tape and set up things and do this drill to where you can visualize a little bit more. Really, visualization is the big missing link in a lot of arts. People aren't visualizing, like if my bad guy is standing straddling this blue line, his chin, well, there's a good way to look at it. So if I'm straddling that, I don't know if that shows up very well there, but with my shirt and the line and everything, you're learning to aim, right? So I'm visualizing my bad guy being here. Blue center line is where he's at. His neck would be out here. So coming straight up perpendicular, his neck would be about here. If I go hourglass with that front hand, now I'm at his chin. Okay? So it's not, back stance isn't wrong. It's a Phillips screwdriver, and this is a straight blade screwdriver. You use the one you need, or you strip the screw, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna watch for just a couple of minutes and see how that's looking. What is that like? What is on your ball, Bob? Is that like DC Universe or something?
It's the Marvel characters.
Marvel. Okay. Hey, whatever works.
Hey, Lee, when you're done watching, I want to bring up another point or question maybe.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I know we're doing this drill to help with aiming and figuring out aiming, but on like some of the upper forearm strikes, when I feel like I'm out of range, I pull my back foot in. Now, would that come into play too? In your time, do you know how sometimes we come up with our back foot to get back in range?
Yes.
This would also be part of that, wouldn't it?
Yes, and if you remember, I don't know, 2 or 3 classes ago, we did some drills where we turned and came up with a back leg. So that's another way to get range. Now,
Right.
remember, one of our key philosophies in Oyata's arts is force efficiency. So if I'm in a back stance and I want to hit with my right hand, okay, so you see my angle here, I want to hit with my right hand. Where is it? Is it force efficient?
No.
No, it's diagonal across my body. So if I want to hit with that and get this force efficient so that I don't blow my own shoulder out with the power that I'm putting into this, if I go hourglass, now I've pointed that and I impact strong, right? But now I'm going to get out of range for even that. So I did hourglass. I even pushed my knee forward and I'm still missing them by a couple of inches. So combination, I did hourglass and slid my back foot up. But if I just slide, then I'm punching across my body and I feel lots of tension here and a little bit back in the back and some in the pec because I'm doing this. I'm punching across my body, which doesn't make sense to us now. And if you remember when you learned exercise 1, 13, 14 years ago, I can't remember how long it's been, Bob, but when you first learned exercise 1, the very last thing we did was this, right? And we don't do that anymore. We do this, perpendicular, 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 perpendicular. You can even, in practice, you could go perpendicular, up, back, perpendicular, up, back, to make that drill mean something else. Okay, does that answer the question?
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go on, and we're going to do this a little bit different now. All right, so I'm stressing force efficiency with footwork, and I'm stressing windmill action. All right, so now what we're going to do is one direction, one move with the hands. So what I mean by that, and you can just watch this first go round. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to turn and do my single. Then I'm going to turn and do my double. Then I'm going to go back to this 45 and I'm going to do a head. Then it's single, double, head. All right. So what's that mean cross body? Single. I've got to be in an hourglass. Double. Well, because the bottom hand's there, I got to be in an hourglass. Head, I've got to drop to that hourglass. Double, hourglass. Head, single. So now the single is right. So it's going to be switching if you're crossbody or not crossbody throughout the course of that, and you have to think of what do I got to do with my feet to get force efficient, right? So that's one version that we can do it. You could also decide to do two moves. So I could go single, double, head, single, double, head, single, double, head, single, double, head. You can just randomly pick a number. I can do 4 or whatever on there. But it's forcing you, using the spider grid and single double head, which is important in spider web in general, we can extrapolate and make all our own exercises that we want. The thing that you're learning is you're learning how to turn every direction. So initially I'm going 90 and 180, and then this is 45 left in relation to the front of the room. But how many degrees was that? 135. So 90, 180, 135, 90, 45, 180. So you're learning to go at all these different directions, and if you keep varying it up, you'll go 90 degrees, same side, 90 degrees, opposing sides. You'll go 180 degrees, both strong hand forward, whatever. So you're learning to go every possible direction you can go on the compass grid with either matching hands or crossbody hands, right? Either crossbody or matching. And you get all that and you do it fluid, then in a fight situation, you don't pause. And pause is what Tycho would say would kill you. If you're in a fight and you pause, you're going to lose. Right? If it's a knife fight, you're dead, you know? So you're getting the pauses out by doing this, and you're learning force efficiency, and you're learning the windmill deal. So I'm going to go through it 2 more times with you guys, and then I'm going to watch you a little bit, and then I'm going to pull the rug out, and we're going to do it a little bit different. All right. For 50 minutes or 45 minutes with the ball so far. All right. So we're going to turn left with a single. Right's on top. All of these, right, will be on top. I'm going to turn double. Now we're going left front or northwest. Head. Now we're going northeast, right front, single. It's right, right. So I'm perfectly fine with a back stance. Now we're going to the front with a double. Right hand's on top. It definitely needs a hourglass stance to reach. Okay, so head is next. So I turn. It's right, right. So I don't need to do the hourglass. Now, a question on that. So I'm here. Maybe my angle, maybe I need to throw my neck there, so an hourglass would work. It's all in what you're visualizing, right? I'm still at the gun range. Oh, my target's here. Maybe I do need to do an hourglass, okay? Maybe I need to make it a horse stance because maybe the target's on this side, all right? Right now, we're just dealing with essentially back stance and hourglass, but it could end up having to go this way, which is a horse stance, maybe just a smidge shorter than your normal horse stance, or at least in Oyata's art. Or the way Marvin and I learned it 30 years ago, that was a horse stance. Wow, I haven't tried that in a while, Marvin. That actually didn't feel very good. All right, so here we are. We're gonna go. Right hand's always on top. Right hand's always going clockwise. Turn to your left, single, hourglass, double, low hand needs to reach, hourglass, left front, northwest, we're going head, it's cross body, hourglass. Right front, northeast. We're back to single. It's right. We don't need the hourglass. Going straight to the front with a double. Doubles for that bottom hand to hit need to be hourglass. And we're going to go to the head. So it's right. You don't need, because it's right, you don't need the hourglass. All right? Complicated drill in a way if you don't analyze it. One big hard thing that for Marvin and I to realize with Taika was he would teach us something like this, but he wouldn't explain it. And we would have no idea why one direction we're doing an hourglass and the other direction we're doing a back stance. Because Taika, it felt right to him, and he just figured it was common knowledge because hey, you do what feels right. So if you analyze something and figure out that pattern, then you can truly learn it instead of just try to replicate it like a Xerox machine. All right, one more time, and then I'm going to stare at you profusely with evil eyes, laser beam eyes through the internet. Here we go. Get the ball in the hand. I'm going to turn to the left. Everything's clockwise. Right hand on top. Single, hourglass. Turn, 180 to double. Left front, northwest. Head. It's got to be an hourglass. Okay? Northeast is right, single. So back stance is fine. Going straight to the front. Double. We need that hourglass. And all the way back to right. Back stance is fine. All right. Now I'm just going to watch. I'm going to take a sip of juice so my throat isn't getting dry. Now I'm going to stare at you profusely and see how this is going. You might find it a little bit easier, Brady, if the ball was maybe another 2 inches bigger or so. That one looks kind of small. I mean, obviously, the better you get, the smaller you can make that ball to a point.
Yeah, I commented on it. I commented on that last class that this ball is awfully small.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's the largest ball that I've got.
Gotcha. All right.
I've got two.
It'll work for now. Let's see how Bob's doing. No pressure, man. Superhero ball. Looking good. Chad's getting it down. Look at Becky over there with the official Oyata mats. You're standing on history right there.
I cleaned them last week.
Oh my God. Yeah, Becky might, if you find a little bit larger ball, it looks like you're getting the hang of it, but it's definitely easier if it's a couple of inches bigger than the one you're doing. And that one in the corner there is really
basketball.
small.
I might
Is
have
that a
another
true
one.
basketball or a kid size?
No, this is a
That's a
kid's playground ball, but I have
Gotcha.
a basketball, but it's heavier. So
Gotcha. Don't want to mess up your right shoulder with you know,
Yeah.
issue. All right. So now,
Quick question.
yes, sir. Go ahead.
So in regards to the size of these balls, we eventually want to graduate, or the opposite of your answer, I guess, to a smaller ball, right?
Yes. Well, I think, personally, I've lost the big giant one. I don't know where it went. I think really having a variety of different sizes is good practice, but the smaller ones seem to be harder for students. So, can't remember which one's the smallest. So this one's probably closer to the one that you're using, and I find it's a little bit harder to do. Right? I mean, I've been doing them all so long that I've kind of got the hang of it. But at least for starting these exercises and doing new exercises you're not familiar with, I find it that a ball that, like, if I go to my brachial plexus and put that there, and then do the same thing on the other side, that ball is about 1.5 inches smaller than those two soft points where, you know, your arms tie in. So that translates to me, if my arms are straight out and then I squeeze them just a little bit, I'm on the ball. Now, the more you go in, the smaller the ball. It just seems like it's a little bit harder to manipulate. That's been my experience so far. Does that
Really,
answer
my
your
question. No, not really. My question was that, is it better to eventually get to where you're always using a small, or not always, that the things are better once you use it?
Well, I think you should gradually get to a little bit smaller ball. I don't think doing this with, but probably not really any smaller than the one you have. Maybe 1 inch smaller than what you have or something like that. But eventually it's going to get to the point where you can't do anything because it's too small.
Unless I get good at it in practice.
I prefer my pretty yellow ball.
The goal, if you think about it, is somebody's arm. Think about the various sizes of somebody's arm and even like their neck. The neck is the biggest thing that we're probably going to control with sticky hands with turtles, right? Coming around and doing neck hooks and captures. What's an average male neck? 15 inch, something like that. You know,
I have a pencil.
15 and a half, 16. I don't know what average is, but your bodybuilders and your big Andre the Giant's going to be obviously larger than that. Becky's probably got the smallest neck in here, but you want to be able to feel natural going around and hooking something, and that's kind of what the ball is replicating, is arms and necks, and maybe a catch on a leg. You know, somebody's beefy leg. There are some catches we can do where we come under and sweep their leg up, and then take the leg they're standing on while their balance is gone. We get rid of it.
Well, these balls are only a lot bigger than arms and necks.
Right. So gradually you taper down to where you've got something. I don't know what works perfectly. But if I'm in a double position, all right, that this squeeze here that I'm doing right at the end of that, when I go single, double, that doesn't represent the arm from this circle, right? From this side and this side. It represents the arm from here to here. So what I mean by that is if I'm,
Yeah,
see, I've got a larger gap there.
yeah, I
I'm
understand.
not squeezing that way. All right.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
I would eventually get to the size that you're using or smaller, but if that's all you got and you can't get to a store because of the pandemic, then just keep using it. It will be harder than if the ball was bigger. Right?
Yeah, I'll get used to it.
Anybody else got a question?
So Lee, I have to go make lunch for my kid.
Not coming back? Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see ya.
We'll see.
Bye. Thank you.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. So now I want you to put your balls away. Balls away. All right. So now that the balls are away, I want you to just take your right hand, put your left behind your back in your pocket, I don't care, and just do that ellipse motion. And so I'm just doing this, and look at the blue line on my shirt. Okay, so this is a windmill would be straight this way. A bicycle would be straight this way. So see, my hand is on the tape line and stays on the tape line. This is kind of a hybrid. It's going diagonal in between. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, and that's really what you were doing on the ball. Okay, this is, though we call it a windmill, there's where it looks like a windmill because from the perspective, it's just going here. If I change my stance, you see how I can change that, but my arm is not doing anything different. So now what I want you to do is without the ball, I want you to go single and then a full 360 degrees around, double, and then full 360 around, head. Don't forget, as this comes around, think back of the hand, and then flip up. So I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing with the ball. I'm keeping right on top, right on top, right on top the whole time. Doesn't change. This doesn't alternate. This is straight windmill philosophy to where I'm going to be changing my legs and going different directions, but I don't go this ellipse, put the brakes on, stop, accelerate the opposite direction, put the brakes on, stop, accelerate the opposite direction. I just keep on going clockwise with my right hand and my left hand, even though I may shoot a double. So single just covers, double drops down, and head just covers. So everything is all on that right hand being up. Right hand up single, right hand up double, right hand up head. Thumbs or X. Everybody good? Looks like everybody's good. All right. So now what I want you to do is that exact same drill that we just did with the ball. I want you to go single, and so I had to do an hourglass. Double, have to do my hourglass. Now I go northwest. Single, right hand's back, so I had to do that. That should have been head, sorry. Hourglass, and then single, I'm right, back stance works. Double, I've got to do the hourglass, and then come up, and do head. All right? So I'll do it 2 more times through, and then I'm going to watch. It shouldn't be that difficult because we've been doing it with the ball. We're just now doing it with the hands. Your hands can be closed. Your hands can be open. It doesn't matter. You can go closed, not tight, just relaxed and closed, funnel fist, or you can do turtle. Single, double, head, or closed, single, double, head. And if this is your first time doing it, just do it closed because that seems to be the easiest for people. And then later on, look at doing it the other way. All right, so here we go. To the left with the right hand, single, hourglass. To the right, double, hourglass. Left front, northwest, head, hourglass. Right front, northeast, single, back stance. And to the front, double, crossbody, hourglass, and turn 180 degrees, right head, back stance is fine. All right, here we go. Same thing. Single, right, double, left front, head, right front, single, left, or straight ahead, sorry, double, and turn, head. One more time and then I'll stare. Here we go. To the left, single. To the right, double. Left front, northwest, head. Right front, northeast, single. Front, north, double. Back, south, head. All right, I'm going to stare at you. Look good, Brady. Make sure that right hand's always on top. Your last double there, Bob, was when you did your double to the front. Your
Yeah,
left
I
hand was on top.
realize it's up there as it was.
Yeah, you just, instead of doing a 360 rotation, you just did a 180. Do you have a question, Marvin? You're kind of staring like you're. Not hearing any Marvin audio there. No audio. You forgot to shave this morning. Yeah, I'm not getting any audio at all on you. Oh, now that video went away. Video's back. No idea. I'll let you play with it. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. All right. So, demo-wise again, here's bad guy. And imagine imagine for what I'm going to show, Bob is actually standing where this green, hopefully that looks green on your screen, but imagine Bob sitting here and I'm going outside with that first arm. So I'm doing my single, then I turn and do my double, then I go northwest, back towards Bob to hit his neck, and then I go to my northeast and do a single again. That's kind of what this drill is helping us do. Obviously, this drill is not reality. It's a good starting point, but you don't know, you know, this is opening the hood to the car, then assessing what's going on is the first few moves. Maybe the first 3 moves you can almost guarantee, but then after that, you don't know how that person, if they're really nerve happy, they may react wildly. If they step left instead of right, they may react different. But that's what I'm going to do with Bob is essentially I'm on this line. I'm facing my red circle and I'm heading to the green. All right. I'd move him, but then it would somewhat block the camera view. So if good old Bob here is punching and I go off, he's now my new north. He's punching and I go off straight 90 degrees and do my single. And then I turn 180 degrees, I'm in that double. And then now I'm going to go back towards him like I went towards the northwest. And I do my head, I'm on the neck. And then if he's not out cold at that point, or at least buzzed, maybe the other hand's coming up. So I do a single, I do a double, and now I do a head from the other angle. So you can see how this grid comes into play. Obviously, for exercise, we go more angles than we would in a fight. In a fight, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to reevaluate. But to get us used to doing it, we're going all these different angles. All right, so that was all clockwise. Now what I want you to do, oh my God, is think about if you're, imagine, it doesn't matter where real north is, we'll call this dojo north. You know, they got real north, true north, this is dojo north. So you facing the camera is your north. If you go northwest with your left hand and just start cycling it through at that angle. Audio visual aid here. So I'm going at that angle, I'm going forward, over, forward, over. For some reason, going counterclockwise now seems to kind of mess with people. So single, I'll turn to where I'm at a 45 to where you can see I'm doing this motion, right? So single, double, head. Single, double, head. So every time we end, the left hand is on top. Single, double, head, single, double, head, single, double, head. Okay? Everybody understanding that? Thumbs up, Chigago. Looks like everybody's understanding it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn to our right and do a single. And keep letting that go clockwise. Then we go to our left. And now I'm going to go northeast, head, northwest, single, straight ahead, double, head. So it's an exact mirror of what we did before. So this will take some computer reprogramming. All right. So we're turning to our right, but our left is going on top. So I'm going to go real slow. Turn to your right. There's your single. 180 to the left. Bring that hand close to you. Up. Double. Now we're going to go northeast with our right foot. Bring this hand in. Head. Okay. Now we're going to go to northwest with a single. Left foot goes forward. Single. Now we're going to go straight ahead for a double. 180 degrees, so left hand needs to be on top. And then we're going to turn to our left. You want to go to your right because that's what we did in the last exercise. So I'm going to turn to my left, come around, and head. All right? So why am I making you do it to the right and to the left? It's confusing. Well, I may be in a situation where here I am bellied up to the bar talking to somebody, and some guy steps up here and starts calling mama bad names. I can't go and do a clockwise windmill and go to my left like I normally do. I am forced. I can go back, right forward. There's somebody mean mugging me straight ahead. So I've only got 4 directions to go. So I'm gonna windmill the opposite direction, okay? So essentially, we can go forward rolls with right, backward rolls. We did that with our balls earlier. We can go forward rolls with the left, and we can do backward rolls, okay? We did all that with the ball the first 30, 40 minutes of the deal. So now, instead of turning right and doing a left, I am turning right. And so it's a forward roll. If it was a wheel, it would be rolling forward. If I do my left hand, it's rolling forward right now. Okay? All right, so here we go. Rolling forward to our right with our left hand. Single. Continue rolling. Double. Continue rolling. Northeast. Head. Go to the northwest. Continue rolling. Single. Continue rolling. Straight ahead. Double. Now turn to your left. Continue rolling. Head. So I haven't even been talking about the stances. You should be able to figure out that's left, left, so it's back stance. Here we go again. So everybody's ready? Just about. All right. We're going to our right with our left hand. Okay? Ready. Single. Going to our left. Double. Gotta be an hourglass. Going to the northeast. The left hand with the right foot forward, so that's gotta be an hourglass. Going to the northwest. Roll back to single. Hey, that's left, left, so back stance works. Okay, now we're going straight ahead. Roll, double, so we need an hourglass. We're gonna turn to our left and go behind us. Roll, head, that's left, left. So we're in a back stance. I'm gonna do it once more with you, and then I'm gonna come watch. All right, here we go. Left hand active, we're turning to the right. Left single, hourglass. Turn to the left side. Left double, we need an hourglass. Northeast, left head, hourglass. Now we go northwest. It's left, left with a single. Back stance fine. We go straight ahead, double. Need an hourglass for the bottom hand. And turn to our left, head. I'm just coming up to watch. All right. So I've given you 2 parts of this, and I just want to kind of share. You can just watch at this stage, and then we're going to dump this exercise and go to the stick exercise for the last 30 minutes or so of class. So, general philosophy of spider web, particularly this is the spoke or wagon wheel portion of it, is I've got 8 directions I can go, but we're really dealing with 6. We go this, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we turn around, okay? And that's, so we're doing this half of the wagon wheel, then we do this half of the wagon wheel, and then we're gonna do this half of the wagon wheel, and now we're gonna do this half of the wagon wheel. And Tiger called that the plus sign. So everything's acclimated north, south, east, and west. And then he picked up the whole grid and dropped it back down. Now we do everything at the 45. All right? So this is, you're doing the same thing no matter which way you're facing footwork-wise, but it really pushes you to a new level so that you're not relying on the front of the room, the squareness of the room. This was kind of one of Taika's tricks, or actually it goes back to walking a guri. It was one of his tricks to get you able to go any direction and not get overly acclimated to walls, right? If you only practice a kata facing one wall, then you turn around and face a different direction, it messes you up. So this is how to overcome that. So then he called it multiplication, which Marvin loves because it reminds him, just like me, of Taika trying to say the word multiplication. But we do the grid from the 45s. So I do it this way, I do it this way, I do it this way, and I do it this way, right? And so now you've got all the spokes of your wheel covered. Now, I did it the way I taught it to you just now. I took out a step and just had everybody face the camera because obviously we're in Zoom environment. And if I start facing back here, I can't see you anymore. And then you can't see anything but my back. You can't see what my hands are doing. And it's not a good learning environment. But I want to just kind of show you where you can take this windmill drill on your own when you're not projecting yourself into my home, right? So again, like I said earlier, I can do single, double head, single, double head when I'm first learning it. I can do single, double, head, single, double, head. I can decide to do 2 moves. I can do single, double, head, single, double, head, single, double, head. You know, so you can randomly throw out numbers. Doesn't matter, 7. You can do 7, right? Single, double, head, single, double, head, single. And then your sequence, whatever number you pick, it's always single, double head, single, double head. You don't start over. So if you did 7 for some reason, you would have just done a single. Now you got to start with a double over here. Taika's way and Wakanaguri's way of making you change things up by having a 3 count and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forward directions. You're constantly flipping it to where you have to do hourglass and back stance at different times. Okay? That makes sense to everybody? I see thumbs, I see thumbs. Got thumbs. All right. So in reality, the way Marvin and I learned this was the single double head. We didn't first learn it the windmill version, but you went essentially, I started you with the harder version. I started you crossbody, but we learned it single, double, head, single, double. And then when you turned, you came up, and then you went to the right first. So the first one I showed you, we went to the left first. And we did our directions, turned, and then I had to start over. We went to the right first. But in the actual spider web exercise, you would go to your left motions, and then step up, do right motions. And then now we do this side, we do left motions first. And then we step up and we do right motions. And then we realign to the next grid. We do left motions, left motions, and right motions. So as you're doing 5 directions and 3 hand motions, it's constantly changing the sequence as you go, so that you constantly are having to realize. You can't memorize. I don't know what the total count comes up to, but you can't really just memorize that, right? I suppose you could, but you learn to feel your body. You learn to feel that this feels fine, but this feels funny by doing this routine. So you know that you just naturally feel it in yourself that you got to pop that into an hourglass to get that range. And that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to do. All right. Any questions on that? We'll play more with it later. But I wanted to press on and at least get a little bit of baton in. All right. So grab your batons if you got them. I'll let you grab your batons. Stick, plunger, whatever you got. I would wash the plunger.
Testing.
Testing. Yes, that worked.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you, Marvin. Okay. All right. I'm going to review what we did last class, just because 2 people are here that weren't. But we won't stay on that. We're going to do a little bit different variant. I know Marvin has done this. I don't know if Chad has or not. But essentially, what we're doing is we're doing the pin and float drill. So I'm just going to pin my right knee if I'm going to my left. I'm going to pin it, I'm going to float, and I'm going to sidestep and turn to where I'm now aligned with my northeast, my 45, my red dot. Taika's straight stick, police stick, kaisatsu. If he's doing one stick, single stick, Taika didn't stand here in an on guard position, anything like that, because that tells your bad guy that I'm going to swing the stick with my right hand. I'm going to strike with my right. So what Taika did is he hooked, thumb, and he pushed both thumbs forward. Then if he let go with the right hand, he struck. If he let go with the left hand, he struck. So I've got that tension. I pin my right, I float my left, and as I come out, I'm striking. So that's our initial drill. Is we'll just do 10 of these just for a warm up anyway. So I'm going to have you right pin, left pin, build your tension, and then release. And then left pin, right float, release. So you got to get that tension every time you reset. All right, so we're going to the left first. We'll just do 10 of these to get back in the habit of pin and float. So right pin, left float, release. Left pin, right float, release. And make sure that when that hand releases, it comes up, because what we're going to be doing is bad guys punching, and I'm also covering my face as I strike. This is a mid-level strike, so I need to cover my face. So this is coming out past, there's 90 degrees. I want that past 90 degrees. Okay, number 3, right pin, left float, release. Left pin, right float, release. Right pin, left float, release. Left pin, right float, release. Right pin, left float, release. Left pin, right float, release. Right pin, left float, release. Left pin, right float, release. Okay, so the next thing that we did was when we did that motion.
Hey, Lee, can I interrupt you for a moment?
You broke up. What'd you say?
I asked if I could interrupt you for just a moment.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that you have, when you start out, you're holding the stick up. Is that where we should be starting?
You kind of cut out. I couldn't hear you, but so my elbows are away from my body like that. I should unpin you and pin me back. Hold on a second. So my elbows are floating away from my body, right? And kind of, if you're not using the overhead camera, you see there's some room there. I should be able to, from this position, if the person crowds me, I should be able to just drive forward and strike into them from that position. I've got all that space between these two fingers that is a good driving force if somebody crowds me. And a lot of these tactics are ones that he specifically designed for law enforcement, but they work great for just having a stick in your car. Walking stick is a little bit longer, but a lot of these still work. All right, like if you've got a cane or sanjaku, which is 3 shaku stick, or roughly 3 feet, just a little shot. So I'm here in that position. Answer?
Thank you.
Good enough? All right, thumbs are up. All right, so this next deal, we're still going to continue on with that, but the important part of this hand, if my hand is in close, then I don't have enough room to get my stick up here where I need to for this particular technique. So this is the same technique we did Wednesday. I'm here, pin float, I strike, cover my face, and see my hand is out here, I just bring my back leg up to the front leg, wrap around, and now my front leg can just move forward. Or if they were falling, I can move sideways. I didn't cover that the other day. If I wrap, I can drop forward and take them to the ground that way. If I do that and I come up with that back leg and they start to fall back, I can just take this line. I can take the north line, or I can take the northeast line, or I can drag them out and go to the east line. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to call out 10 again, and what we're going to do, 10 float, release, pinky side is up, rolls right in the web of your hand, and then let the right leg go to that northeast. When I do the other side, I'll pin left, float right, strike, push up, and so you see my hand's out, it just goes with my body. So all I do is I drop my hand in the web of, or the stick in the web of my hand, and then I continue on at the northwest angle. All right. So here we go. Ready, we're going to the left, pin right, float left, out, back leg up, wrap. I'm just showing the simple wrap instead of going into all the extra details that we did for review for you guys. You guys that were here for the longer explanation, you can continue with those wraps. But I want to move on to the other one, and we're down to 20 minutes. So pin left, float right, strike, back leg up, wrap, and drive to the northwest. Right pin, left float, strike, back leg up, wrap, drop. Left pin, right float, strike, back leg, front leg. Okay. Right pin, left float, out, back leg, front leg. Left pin, right float, out, back leg, right leg. Right pin, left float, out, back leg, right leg. Left pin, right float, out, back leg, right leg. We'll do 4 more. Those of you that have done it before, think about maybe varying it up instead of going northeast. Maybe go do the same motion, come up and drop down at the 90, or if they're falling, switch the leg, whatever. All right, so 4 more of these, and then we're going to do something a little bit different for the last technique of the day. Right pin, left float, strike, back leg, capture. So you're capturing that arm. Reset. Left pin, right float, out, back leg, capture. Reset. Tension, right pin, left float, release, back leg, front leg. Tension, left pin, right float, out, back leg, front leg. All right. So that was kind of a little review. I don't know if Marvin's ever shared that with Chad or not, but we're going to move on to a variation. So this particular variation, bad guy punches right, but he steps left. Okay, so the first thing we were doing is kind of like, you know, your guy steps right, come up with the back leg, and his leg is right here kind of in our way, and we go here. All right, so, oh no, his arm, I dislocated Bob's arm. So this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend, king of audio-visual aids, right? We're gonna pretend that Bob steps, let's see if this works. It's a little bit low, but we're gonna pretend that he punches right, but steps left. So I'm still gonna, I can't really do it very well. I guess I can stick his arm here, but I'm gonna pin and float. So my right pins, my left floats, because I'm going this direction. I've got my tension, and I reach out and I go here. Well, as I strike that, now his leg is kind of in that way. So I'm going to, actually, I tell you what would probably work. Probably make this a little bit better. Probably won't work. No, no. I think you'll get the idea though. I'll strike lower than I probably would because his knee would probably be higher. But I'm going to go here, and I'm going to skip right off and strike down to his knee. And then instead of coming up in the web, I'm just going to come up towards his face and catch it. So instead of bringing my pinky up and wrap it around, I'm going to strike that leg, come right up to his face, and capture it. All right. So that's your visual point of reference. What it'll look like is you get your tension, pin, float, you strike and skip. So I'm covering, his arm is here. I'm going to bend that leg down to strike his leg. I'm bending my knee to strike his knee to get that proper range and everything. And then I just come right up towards his face, and I'm going to bounce off of his face and capture it. And then everything else is the same. I can either take it there, or if his leg is still in the same place, I can take it off to my 90-degree line. All right? And so going the other direction, it'll look the exact mirror of the same thing. I'm going to pin left, float right, and strike here, but immediately back stance, hourglass. Come up towards his face with my back leg, and then pressed. And I'm probably going to have to take that angle a little bit because his leg's either going to be there or he's already, what we're trying to hit is, here's his kneecap. I'm trying to hit that soft triangle right here because that'll make, if he stepped and punched and I hit that, that'll make this blow out to the outside. It'll make it turn that way and totally disrupt his balance. And then what happens is when his balance goes that way and his torso twists, now his arm is nice and straight, making that part much, much better. All right? Are we all good? All right. So here we go. Tension on your stick. Right pin, left float, release, hourglass to the knee. Straight up to the face, feet come together, capture. Now front foot at the 90. All right. Okay. Tension, we're going to our right. Left pin, right float. Back stance, skip to the knee, hourglass. Come up to the face, back leg up. Front leg to the 90. All right. Here we go again. Tension on the stick. Right pin, left float. Release. Hourglass to the knee. Back foot up to the face. Capture. Off to our 90. Okay, reset with tension. Pin left, float right. Strike, hourglass to the knee. Up to the face, back foot. Front foot, off to the 90. All right, reset with tension. Right pin, left float. Strike, drop. Back foot up to the face. Front foot to the 90. Reset with tension. Left pin, right float. Release, down to the knee, hourglass. Up to the face with the back foot. 90. The front foot. All right, reset with tension. Going to our left, so we pin with our right. Float left, release. Hourglass to the knee. Up to the face with the back foot. Front foot to 90. All right. Reset with tension, going to the right. Pin left, float right. Out. Drop to that knee, up to the face, back leg. Front. To the 90. All right. Tension. Going to the left, pin right, float left. Out. Strike the knee with the hourglass. Up to the face of the back leg. And 90. All right. Reset tension, going to the right. Left pin, right float. Out. Drop to the knee. Flip up to the face and grab. Out to the 90. All right. So let's see. Yeah. I'm going to watch you here a little bit. I want those that were here Wednesday to now think about where we ended. And Marvin's done this. I'm not sure if Chad's done this, but just know we don't do the walnut crush. We do kind of a rolling crush because that moves the muscles on one side this direction, the muscles on the other side that direction, or vice versa. I can go top of the hand forward, bottom of the hand back, or forearm, or the other way. So when I do my crimping, I'm actually doing a little bit of that motion. Now, as I land and take them to here, I can change that backhand, come around their neck, and take the carotid, deprive them of oxygen until they pass out. So if you've already had that, feel free. Just remember, I'm going this outside circle and changing my grip, and my elbows got to come up because their head's got to go in there. I can't get their head if they don't bend over, which they should be bent over because I hit the leg and then I did the butter churn to here and my forearm pushed down. So they should be bent over at this point. If they're not, we'll just go and do something else. If they're not, then I can just come up and go over the head the other way, but obviously not in that time period. So I'm going to do this 2 more times, this the exact same way, but you're going to see me at the end. If you already know it, go ahead and do the neck deal, but I'm not going to vocalize it so it doesn't jack you up if you don't know that part. All right. So I'm going to do 2 more of these, and then I'm going to go sit down and watch you guys for the last few minutes. So we're going to go to our left. We got tension, pin right, float left, strike, drop to the knee, up to the face with the back foot, roll down to the 90. All right, reset with tension. We're going to go to the left. Or excuse me, we're going to go to the right because we already did the one. We're going to go to the right. So we pin left, float right, release, drop to the knee, back foot up to the face, capture, out to the 90. All right, and now I'm going to watch for a couple of minutes, and then we'll do final class remarks, and that'll be it. When you go up to the face, Brady, bring that back foot. Yeah, there you are. Exactly. All right, gentlemen. Actually, I think I'll just back up a little bit. We've got about 3-4 minutes left. I wanted to just see if there was any final questions on this, on the Tanbo.
Well, yeah, I don't really have a question, but it'd be nice when we get back. When we get back together, it'd be nice to be able to notice weekday and things like that with
With the Tanbo?
yeah.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there, but your video is real laggy and your audio is a little choppy. The other guys seem fairly smooth, but you're wanting to actually do this with partners, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah, okay, cool. Do you have a question, Brady?
How's it going?
Was that, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were just leaning in. I thought you had a question.
No, I had gas.
Nobody? Okay, all right. Anybody else got a question? I'm guessing not. All right, I did want to kind of ask, I did a couple of things different today in the dojo. I added a blue line on the backdrop. My goal was kind of, you know, to help break the washout so that you could tell my movements. And then I also, like I did in the previous class, I added the blue line on my shirt. So my question is, were those two things good and helpful, or they just didn't matter, or what? I got thumbs up. Looks like everybody but Brady who's leaning in, and he's got a thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right. So I just need a blue necktie, essentially. And
It'll be a blue man group.
All right. Blue man group. Yeah, the blue man group. So we've got basically 2 more weeks of pandemic unless this gets extended. I have no logical idea which way that's going to go, but I am curious if you've got other ideas, other stuff you want to see, let me know. I definitely like suggestions. If you want to just keep working this kind of spider footwork with the balls and open hands, that's fine with me too. Tanbo. But if you have anything else that you want to do that we can all do, obviously, I probably, you know, we can't work Sai because not everybody has Sai, that kind of stuff, but everybody's got a short stick. So I'm open to any of that stuff. If you private message me or put it up on the Facebook group site as a suggestion, that's perfectly fine with me. You want to shoot me a message, call me, anything like that, that's fine. I don't even care if it's not my core guys, if it's Marvin and Marvin's student there, you know, it doesn't matter to me where the ideas come from. I'm willing to work on anything. This has been quite the learning experience of trying to come up with stuff we can all work on. So hopefully it's going well for you guys. You're enjoying it, but please give me some feedback as to whether or not this is going the way that's helpful to you. That's really what I want, is it to be helpful and that you continue to learn. All right. Any closing comments, remarks?
Hey, Lee.
Go ahead, Bob.
I just said that was a really good class.
Thank you. I heard really good
Yeah,
class,
good
but I
class,
didn't
Lee.
hear anything else after that, so I'm not sure.
Good class, Lee.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Lee, I got a comment for Brady.
Okay.
Concerning the size of the training balls,
Yes, sir.
Taika would always have us overtrain, and if you notice, the different size of the balls feels totally different. There's a correlation with the stick, per se, as revolving around a diameter. I don't know if you got that. There seems to be an audio lag going on.
I heard you talking, but I didn't understand what you meant.
The different sizes will feel differently, obviously. And it's better to have different feelings, sensations on overtraining than just to have a limited perspective.
Understood.
Also, yeah, also your target area changes. It could be the arm, it could be the wrist, it could be the elbow, could be the neck or head. And the circles reflect that. So that's all.
Yes, very much. Taika very much tried to over prepare us for things. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. And
Thank you,
hopefully
Lee.
we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lee.